Hi guys, it's Lara. Thank you so much for watching and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing with you my leg stretching routine in real time. This is a routine I'm doing in order to improve my flexibility and also hopefully to be able to do splits at some point. I have included a few back stretches because whenever I'm stretching my legs, I always like including at least a few exercises for my back. Please keep in mind this is not a teaching video, this is only for inspirational purposes because I'm not a professional. However, I hope that this video is still going to be helpful for you. There is a section that needs to be repeated if you're going to stretch with me, but don't worry, I will tell you on time when to skip back to the beginning, and also I will tell you the time when the stretching starts so that you don't have to watch the intro again. So if you want to know what I'm doing in order to improve my flexibility and to be able to do splits at some point, then please keep watching. The first stretch I'm doing is lunge. I always start with the side where my hip flexor is less flexible, which is right now my left side. With a few exceptions, I hold each stretch for 2 minutes in total. First, I hold this position for about a minute. After the minute is over, I grab my back leg and pull it towards my butt. I used to be able to reach my butt with my heel, but at some point I strained something and it threw me back. If anything like that happens to you, don't let it discourage you. That is sometimes a part of the process and you'll get there. It will get better after a while. After about 30 seconds, I put the back leg down again, try to deepen my lunge as much as I can, and I hold for 1 more minute. Next, I move my body back and stretch towards the leg that was in the front. The back should be straight or as straight as you can hold it. You can point your toe or flex it. I mostly start with pointed toe and flex it later. And again, I hold this stretch for 2 minutes. During the entire stretching, I am breathing deeply. I always try to imagine that I'm breathing into the muscles that I'm stretching. I picture some kind of a healing energy flowing into my muscles and try to feel my muscles becoming longer. And I also try to picture that in my head. That really helps. Also, I'm never judging my body for the current state. Sometimes I feel stiff, it sometimes feels like I'm getting nowhere, or sometimes it feels like my flexibility got worse. But I learned to understand that that is also a part of the process that happens sometimes. So instead of judging my body and myself, I'm always feeling grateful for being healthy, for having a healthy body that allows me to exercise. And with the positive attitude, everything gets better. For the next stretch, I stay in the same pose, but move my butt backwards and bend the front leg. Then I move my upper body towards the ground and let my elbows touch the ground. If you cannot get that far, that is okay. Stay where your body allows you to stay. Breathe deeply into the muscles you feel stretching and let it happen. I hold this stretch again for 2 minutes. The pigeon stretch is my next. Ideally, the front leg should be bent in 90 degrees angle. If you cannot do that, which by the way I can't do either, bend it so that the foot is closer to your crotch. If your arms cannot reach the ground, you could always use yoga blocks to bridge the distance until you will be able to go lower. I hold this for 1 minute. After 1 minute, I lay down with my upper body on the front bent leg and stay there for another minute. Again, just like with any stretch, I breathe deeply and try to relax not only physically but also mentally, and I imagine how my muscles lengthen. Then I get up, I leave the front leg bent and pull my back leg towards my body. I hold this for 1 minute. After 1 minute, I put the back leg down again. I straighten my body and hold for another minute. I learned that my body needs time. I learned to accept that and to allow my body to become more flexible in its own pace. Once you finished the first side, skip back to 0:58 seconds if you haven't already done so, and repeat the section for the other side. Whenever I'm done with both sides, I do the butterfly stretch, which I hold again for 2 minutes. As usual, I'm breathing deeply, feeling grateful for having a healthy body, not judging myself. You should never judge yourself for any state your body is in. Sometimes you will be less flexible, some days will be better, but that's okay. That's how the process works. After the butterfly stretch, I like doing the diamond stretch. I keep my heels together, but move my legs forward so that they would create a diamond shape. I bend forward and breathe deeply, and I hold this stretch for 2 minutes. now the straddle, which is, by the way, my favorite stretch. I sit straight, open my legs, move my upper body forwards as far as my body allows it, and hold the stretch for 2 minutes. I used to hate this stretch. This was my nemesis. But with time, I started seeing at least some progress, and it motivated me to do straddle more often. And guess what? Once I didn't fear it anymore, and once I was doing it regularly, I also relaxed mentally, and my straddle started improving. I also noticed that anytime when I start stretching, it takes me a while until I will be able to move deeper. Again, do not let something like that discourage you. That is normal. You will see the more you will stretch, the easier it will get. Then I always stretch towards my left leg for 2 minutes. I always make sure that both of my buttocks stay on the ground. When the time is over, I stretch for 2 minutes towards the right leg. Then I readjust my legs, try to open them a little bit more, and hold the straddle again for 2 minutes. Usually, when I'm doing the straddle for the second time, I notice that I can move a little bit deeper, and sometimes I can even open my legs tiny little bit more. At the end, I sit straight, I lift my legs, hold them shortly, then I bend them and shake them a little bit, and then I'm ready for a few back stretches. I like starting with the puppy pose, which I hold for 30 seconds. I usually stretch my back much longer, but this is the shorter version that I'm doing when I'm focusing on my legs. I find it very important to include always at least a few back stretches, because let's be honest, most people do not like stretching their backs, and that way you can incorporate the stretches into your other routines. After the 30 seconds, I push up into the Sphinx pose and hold it again for 30 seconds. Then I go further up into Cobra for at least 30 seconds. I held it this time for 50 seconds when I was filming the video. After these few stretches, I like doing baby pose just to relax for a bit, for about 30 seconds. And then I lay on my back. I'm giving myself a little hug and roll from side to side. That feels really great. And then I open my hips into the happy baby pose for a few breaths. I stay on my back, I lift my legs and hips and move my legs behind my head. First I hold them straight for a couple of breaths. And then I bend my knees and put my knees on the ground so that they will reach my ears. If you can't get there, that's okay, just stay where you are and hold for a few more breaths. At the end, I roll back, I sit up straight, hold myself on my knees and round my back for a short while. That always feels so relaxing. And then I'm done. So this is my favorite stretching routine. I love this routine. This routine helped me so much in the past few years, ever since I started doing this really on a regular basis. When I started out stretching, my straddle was like that and I couldn't even sit straight, and now I'm far more open and I can move forward with my body. I'm not even talking about the back of my legs. I was super stiff at the beginning, but I started doing this regularly, at least 2 or 3 times a week. I have been working out almost every day recently, so I'm stretching almost every day. But I don't always do this whole program. So when my time is limited, I would do just the lunge, then I would stretch forward towards my front leg, then I would put my elbows on the ground, and then I would do just straddle, and then I would do a few back stretches, and that would be it. But it's still so helpful. I can highly recommend doing these stretches. Now, if you are not flexible at all, do not worry, you can still start stretching, because if you never start, it will never get better. And I promise you it will get better. Sometimes there are times when you do not notice any improvement at all, and then you will have times when it will move forward a little bit faster, but always listen to your body. Don't do anything harsh, be very gentle, always breathe deeply, avoid any sharp pain. And just stretch regularly and have fun. And whenever you're stretching, you can use that opportunity to let go of all negative thoughts and just focus on your breathing and on your muscles. And for me personally, it became kind of a meditation. So I'm really enjoying this process. And that's it for today. I hope that you liked today's video. If that was the case, don't forget to give the video a thumb up, because that really helps the channel. You are also very welcome to share this video with anyone who you think might be interested. As usual, I have listed several things down below in the description box, and there are a few links like affiliate links, discount codes and stuff like that. The music that I have used today is also listed down below, and you will find down below also links to my other channels and to all of my Instagram accounts. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much. And I'm looking forward to seeing you with my next video. Bye!